Hello and welcome guys to another map breakdown, map tactical strategy breakdown thing. This time I'll be talking about Omaha Beach, and this is going to be quite different from the other videos that I've done in this similar vein, because this is an offensive map, and unlike Warfare where you have to basically fight for the middle point at the start of the game, this is completely different. The allies have to push from the beach all the way to the back here to B column, and the Germans basically want to stop them. So I'm gonna have to talk about the entire map. And first things are first, remember that in warfare mode, in offensive mode, which this is, the only thing that caps towards the cap is being inside the strong point. It's not like warfare where these four squares would cap towards the cap. No, you gotta be inside the strong point. You cannot be outside of it. So you don't want to flank necessarily in these maps. And I'm gonna show you guys by using Epic Pen, which is a new tool that I installed that's gonna allow me to do some really awesome stuff, like doing this right on the screen. So yeah, you wanna jump out of your boat and go straight into dog white in this case. You can get one of three points here. Some are easier than others. We'll see that on Strat Sketch right now. Alright, so here we are on Strat Sketch, and as I was saying, whether you get dog green, the draw, or dog white, the allies want to push straight in. You do not want to flank. I see a lot of teams flanking at the start of the game, especially on dog green for some reason, and they try and do this with 3 or 4 squads. You do not want to do that. You at most want to flank with a single squad to put some pressure in, and maybe distract the enemy. But the idea here, guys, is to drop as much smoke as humanly possible all around the landing area, so you can get inside the strong point without being shot at least without being shot at accurately. Whatever tanks you have, be aware that there's going to be AT guns built around, around the top side here, overlooking the beach. So be aware of that, try and take them out, and then just try and support your troops by killing all the Germans who are going to be on this side trying to funnel into the strong point. If you are German on this side, what you want to do is spawn at the garrison and drop into the strong point. Again, you do not want to be outside this circle. You want to be inside of it, and you want to push the allies out of it. So try and gain as much terrain as you can, and try and build a garrison close to the beach somewhere that will allow your team to redeploy. Alright? That's what you want to do for this round. You basically want to hold the beach from inside the strong point, and every single point in this map, you are going to have to cap it from inside the circle. Remember, that is not the case on Warfare. So, about Omaha. There's a couple of flags here that are extremely hard to cap. One of them is artillery battery. The other one is West Vierville. Rear battery is also really good. The rest are not as easy. At the start of the game for the Germans, you will have some default garrisons spawned. There's one here, there's one around this area, and there's one here. We'll check that out in the game right now. So as you can see in the map, there's 3 garrisons, 1 per point. These will be, they will be part of the game. They spawn as part of the game, and they cannot be destroyed with bombing runs or rockets, unlike regular garrisons. And you also can build other garrisons within 200 meters of these ones, because they are special garrisons that don't really respect the garrison rules. So there's one there. Let's go to the other one on this point right here. There's one right there, as you can see, and there's one right here. Now, knowing the location of these garrisons, if you're allied, is extremely important, because it's going to allow you. Okay, that's the other one there. And where's the middle one? Yeah, this is kind of confusing when you're using the admin camera. Sometimes it gets kind of confusing. All right, There we go. That's the other one. You want to know the location of these 3 garrisons by memory, basically, because that's going to be their spawn, their main spawn for these flags. You want to try and get close to that, maybe through these trenches, without dropping some smoke, and you will have to get close to this to be able to, disable them. Remember, they cannot be destroyed by rockets. So, first phase of the game is capping the beach. As I was mentioning, you want to drop as much smoke as you possibly can, which means everyone wants to run medic, the rifleman loadout, the second one that has smokes. You want to go with the assault grenade loadout, grenadier, that has like 4 smokes or 3 or something. Yeah, use a lot of smoke, and also go support and drop supplies, explosive ammunition, so your squad mates or teammates can also replenish their smoke and drop even more smoke. The Germans are going to be concentrated along this side behind these tiny walls, and also they will be firing at you from over here from the hills onto the beach. If you are German, try not to do this. Try and go straight down and get to the beach as fast as possible to secure those strong points. That's what you want to do. Special mention to, I believe it's dark green, we'll see that right now, but there's a strong point right here on that spawns. Basically, it's these trenches and this bunker here. If you are German, or if you are allied, actually, if you go inside this bunker, you can place a satchel right there. Remember, satchels explode within a 15-meter radius, so anyone inside this bunker is going to be dead, so, possible TK is there. But if you put a satchel here, it's going to kill all the allies who are holding up behind this bunker that you cannot shoot at. So it's very common for the allies to have their OPs around this area. Basically, you will see, hold shift to draw a circle. Okay. How can I get rid of that tooltip? Okay, you will see the allies, pushing into here and trying to place some OPs around here, around this area as well, and get inside the bunker. Now, with a new barbed wire, that's really hard, but if you put an OP here, you can jump across it. You want a grenade from over on the backside onto this area, and also remember what I said about the satchel charge. Now let's move on to the other points, the middle points, actually the second line, which is WN 71, 73, and so on. These points, you basically want to build garrisons around here and, move into the trenches around this area. There's a really good flanking position that I'm going to show you now, because once you cap one of these, you'll be able to flank quite easily. Alright, so once you cap the beach, you will either have to cap WN 73, 71, or 70. Try and focus on capping one of them, because after that you'll be on control of, for example, this area, and you'll be able to place a garrison here, for example, which is a really good spot to be able to attack WN 71, for example, from over here. You also want to try and wrap around and get into town as much as possible to come from behind. It's, again, not ideal for the entire team to do this. You do want to keep some pressure coming in from both sides, basically. You want to have some squads going here from maybe a garrison around this area, and you want to have some squads going from behind the town. As Germans, what you want to do is you want to build as many garrisons as you can for this defensive phase. And you also want to start preparing defenses on whatever the backside is going to be. So especially if you get artillery battery, which we will see in detail, you want to start building up on artillery battery, basically at the start of the game. So you get as many supplies as you can, you get garrisons, you get good fortifications and stuff. All right. So as I was saying, if you're German, do not wait for the allies to cap the beach. Try and get into the beach. But if you see that you're losing the beach, you want to rush in and get some backside garrisons all around here so you can fall back and defend. Remember, again, I'm going to say this once again, you want to be inside the strong point, right? But the way you do that is you want to have garrisons all over the place so you can come at the strong points from several different locations, right? You want to be able to push out into the allies that are attacking, but also want to push in onto the strong point. W on 73, 71, and 70 are very, very much the same. They have trenches with some buildings in the back. They are quite similar. All right. Now let's take a look at one of the best defensive points in the entire game, and that is Artillery Battery. West Veerville is also really good, but it's not as good as RD Battery. So let's take a look at that. All right, here we go. This is Artillery Battery, and it's composed basically of this giant radar here and this small little farm thing here. The strong point is actually like in the middle of these. It encompasses a bit of both, mostly of this area right here. We're going to see that in the map later. But what you want to do for this map is, let's pull out my trusty pen here. Ideally, you want to get a garrison around this area and block off these entrances with some Belgian gates. Remember, the Belgian gates for the Germans are extremely good. They are like they're the best at blocking these paths off. And you also want to get some barbed wire. Maybe let's use a different color for that. You want to get maybe some barbed wire around here, and also, and this is going to be weird. Let's see. There's a hole here in the wall. You want to also cover that up. Also cover this up. And all around this area, these trenches, there's already barbed wire. So you can add on to this by placing barbed wire around this area here to be able to block the side here. Or maybe around this area, forcing the allies to go around here and leave the hedgerow, the safety of the hedgerow. This is a really annoying type of barbed wire that you can place, and I highly, highly recommend it. And the second area that we want to focus on Artillery Battery is this radar section and this hedgerow right here. This is the best flanking avenue, in my opinion, for the allies to get into Artillery Battery. Basically, if you're allies, you can get, let's see if we can see this on the map. So RD Battery is these four, so you can have something right there. You can get a garrison around this area, maybe get a garrison here, and then start pushing through these houses onto this side. And what you want to do as the allies, what I enjoy doing, is push around here, and then push around here, and then push around here. And then from here over to here. Does that make sense? Because you get a lot of cover from this hedgerow. Basically, whoever's going to shoot you from this side of the hedgerow is also on your side. So you have, the same advantage on each other. Like, you will both be able to see each other. But you can place an OP around here. There's also some spots you can place maybe around right here or right there. And you can, start making your way across. You do not want to go through this open area if you can help it. And once you get to this area, as Germans, I'm jumping all over the place here, talking about Germans and allies at the same time, because so much of the strategy of one is also the strategy to counter the other one, right? So as Germans, you maybe want to set up a garrison here, so it's at 200 meters from the other one that's going to be around town there. You can also set one further back. Yeah, you can have a garrison around this area or around here, and you'll be able to push really slowly around this area and around this area to get back into RD Battery this way. That's like the ideal case. You want a garrison there, you want a garrison there, and you want a garrison inside this compound there. To protect these garrisons, you can also build some fences or some walls or even a bunker and get the garrison inside the bunker. If you don't know how that works, you basically build a two-stage bunker, then you place a garrison inside of it, and then you finish building the bunker to stage 3. That will encase the garrison inside a bunker, and it will make it basically impossible to destroy with bombing runs or pretty much anything else unless you happen to get really close to it. All right, so in this area around here, you want to set your tanks overlooking this. You can get some cover here, you can get some cover there. If you set your tanks here, they will be extremely exposed. Get them some repair stations. Again, remember, you will have time to do this if you start doing this from the start of the game, which is basically what you want to do. You want to have at least 3 guys building, dropping supplies, ferrying a supply truck back and forth if you happen to get artillery battery, which is one of the best points. If you don't get RT battery and you get West Vierville or Sur-Mer, sorry, Sur-Mer is... it's really hard to defend because it's this area right here. And yeah, that's the strong point around this broken building right here. And there's a lot of cover for the allies to get here. They can come from this side, they can come from that side, they can come from over there, and you get overwhelmed really fast. It's a really nice area to fight over. I love the urban environments in this game. So I love fighting over this, but it's not the most defensible position. You want to defend either on RT battery, or around this area right here. Now, this is West Vierville, and we can't see the strong point because, well, that's not, the allies haven't capped yet, but basically around this area, you can do some really cool things here. So what you can do is, with enough preparation, obviously, you can see there's some really good defensible positions here. This is like the edge of the map, and I'm going to show you guys something. All right, so barbed wire. You can get, let's say, a Belgian gate here. That's going to prevent them from going across this, but they can jump over these walls. They can jump over this wall. So what you want to do maybe is get some barbed wire across here to stop them from going around this area, blocking that area completely. And you can get a garrison around here, or around here, or behind this. Basically, this entire area is extremely defensible. There's a lot of areas that you can close off. You can, barbed wire, you can put some Belgian gates, you can build some barracks, some barricades, whatever. You can defend all around here, around here, around here. Basically, just try and focus on one side and also make sure you block this area because they will come from the side of the map, and you don't want them, you don't want to have them go freely across this area so they can then go here. For the allies, if you're attacking this point, I would recommend you try and go around as much as possible. So you can see right here, you can still place your OPs around that area if you're allies. So what I like doing as allies is, while some of the squads are maintaining pressure from the front, around this area, I try and go all the way around through this area right here and get to them from behind, from over these hedgerows. If you get there from behind, you'll see you're extremely exposed, but you will have some cover from these trees and hedgerows, which will allow you to get into a firing position on the backside of them. And if you can cross this gap with some smoke, then you can get around here, and it's pretty much game over for the Axis, because this side, defending on this side and also defending on the front, yeah, that's going to be quite hard. This is a solid point to defend. RT battery is just straight up better all around, because there's so much open field around it, and it's a really defensible position with all these trenches and houses and the radar and the elevated ground and whatnot. However, you do want to, always take care of spotting their airheads. If they get behind you around that area and then push towards this area, that can be really bad. So yeah, be aware of airheads and try and counter them as much as possible. All right, so that's the middle part. Now we have rear battery, Church Road, and orchards. All of these areas are, like, Church Road and orchards are fairly straightforward. Not too much to say about them, except that you can flank all the way from here. There's some high ground, some tall grass and stuff like that. Church Road, you have several different avenues to attack. You can come from here, you can come from here, you go from there. It's not really, you know, the worst. So let's focus on rear battery. Like the previous point, like West Vierville here, this is a really good point to defend from the front. But as allies, I recommend you try and flank from this side, from this open fields behind them. This will allow you to, get behind them and wreck some stuff from behind, you know, get behind their garrisons and stuff. There's a lot of hedgerows that you can hide behind. So let's take a look here. As allies, you will be coming through this way, and the Germans will have set up around, let's see, this area. They will probably have some barbed wire or some defenses around here. It's very common to get some barbed wire here and also here, or Belgian gates, and get the garrison inside this little barn. So as allies, again, you want to go all the way around, guys. Remember to flank through here. You get around there. I'm sorry I'm using so many arrows here. But whatever. Once you get into this position, then you can start firing onto them. Right? Pew, 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 from there. And yeah, that's what you want to do, guys. Tanks, destroy this. Shoot at it as much as you can. Tanks don't usually do this. If you're a tanker, try and think about where the OPs and garrisons of the enemy are and just HE the crap out of that area. Germans, try and have some sort of position around this area. You can go all the way here to see that move mark. Yeah, you can go all the way here and push from here. So ideally, if you have a garrison or something around here to help you fend off the attack from the allies on some like even-ish ground, and maybe flank into their attacking forces that are going to be, most of them, going straight to the point, because that's what most of the people do. They will be going through these roads. Yeah, you want to always defend from the outside in. You know, you want to have, remember, you don't want to have all your forces concentrated on the strong point. If this is the sector that you're going to be defending, you want to have your forces with some garrisons, obviously one inside, but maybe, you know, even if it's not the best location, try and get some garrisons around the point, because that will alert you of any airheads, any flanking maneuvers and stuff like that. And you will be able to defend this way, right? And not only from rear battery, which would look like this. If you do this on any point in the entire game, you will lose that point. Alright guys, that's basically it for this video. It's a long video, very complicated map. Actually not complicated, but more complicated than a warfare map where you don't necessarily have to cap all the points in order to win. Capping the last points is fairly trivial. I'm gonna say once you've overwhelmed the enemy to that point, you basically just have to stock up on resources, put a bombing run, and then rush in, and that should do it. Also, if you divide your forces, or what usually happens is the enemy defenses haven't set up garrisons behind them, so once you cap one sector, the next one falls quite easily, because again, they don't have to fall a place to fall back, and they have to run all the way from HQ to Church Road, or to Orchards, or to whatever it is. So yeah, guys, try, if you're Germans, try and build some defenses on a specific point and defend that point until the end of the game. If you're allies, try and always flank, use your airheads, drop behind them, and make sure that you're using different approaches into stuff like RD battery. You don't want to only attack from one side. You want to build attack garrisons. If you get around this flanking position here and you take out whatever they have down south, you can have a flanking garrison right here, which will be exposed, but nobody's going to attack it because nobody's going to be here. So yeah, think, use your brains, and use your tools, the tools at your disposal. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, then leave me a like, a comment on what you want to see next, or what you would like to see, you know, another map, another focus, more stuff in detail that you want me to talk about. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next one.